Junk food supper.
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 Food supper. Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Welcome to Junk Food Supper, the internet's #1 19th century hentai podcast. This is one of your hosts, Sean Byron, joined as always by Perky Beantown Bowman up in the 559. What's going on, Mr. Bowman?
There you are, you otaku son of a bitch.
It's me.
I'm doing good. You know, normal stuff. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Considering the hell that I put myself through the past few days, I think I'm holding up okay.
I've heard you've been very busy with slandering one of our great American directors.
I felt like it was finally time for the record to be set straight on Mr. John Landis. And so took it upon myself to make a little video about the Twilight Zone Massacres, as I call them.
As you call them?
Yeah, the Valencia Massacres.
Okay. That's the massacre where those oranges were murdered.
Yeah, they were squeezed to a pulp, if you could believe it, Bowman.
Mm-hmm.
It was a gruesome sight. But no, yeah, you saw this video that I made about the Twilight Zone and about Michael Jackson's Thriller and about all of the things.
Yeah, I saw this. Now, what compelled you? Why do you have such hatred in your heart for John Landis, a man who only deserves forgiveness and respect?
I got to be honest, if I had to point a finger of blame, I'd point it at Jackson Stewart. It's all his fault.
Why? Because he was not wearing that hat and the sun got in his eyes, so he crashed that helicopter?
And that was only the beginning of it. Yeah, I mean, it was that and so many other things. No, it was, I think, probably about 8 years ago. We did a Ghoul Summer episode where we reviewed Threads and some other movies I don't remember. But in the intro to Threads, I made a little song. I don't know. I can't remember why. I guess just because it was Ghoul Summer, because it has nothing to do with the movie Threads. But I made an intro that was all about Twilight Zone and Thriller and all that. Jackson always liked it, I guess, or he liked it at the time and told me, hey, you should make a video out of that. And I had been thinking about it for 8 years and it finally happened.
I like that incubation period. That's my style of idea incubation.
Yeah.
I think 6 years from now, we'll finally get that JFD zine I've been threatening to do.
Maybe in a decade, we'll have the old episodes up on our Patreon feed.
Yep. That's how I like to do things.
But no, I mean, I was relieved that all of the sources that I used to make the song so long ago were still available on YouTube. And some of the few videos that YouTube has not seen fit to just yank down. Thankfully, all of the news highlights and trial footage of the 1982 Twilight Zone Massacre, again, as I call it, were available. So I was able to re-download those and cut up the video components.
And now, is it fair to say you want John Landis to rot in hell?
You know what? It's such a weird thing. I mean, so you probably are like me. Like, did you have the making of Thriller videotape in your home when you were a kid? I think everybody in America had it, right?
I think so, yeah.
That classic Vestron video. And I watched the hell out of this thing. I mean, it really was like a foundational text for me. Like, it's probably the clearest reason why I like scary movies is not even just the music video, but specifically that videotape, the making of, seeing Rick Baker, apply the makeup to Michael Jackson, all of that stuff. You got fond memories of that too, right? It's not just me.
Of course, yeah. I remember, yeah, I mean, obviously I was like very scared of the Thriller video itself, but then, yeah, the making of was like super fun to see how it all worked. And like, yeah, I was like, I mean, like you, like just ridiculously young at the time. Like that's probably like, I mean, you're probably right. Like, yeah, like that probably introduced a lot of people, like young kids our age, like to the idea that like work goes into movies, like that they weren't just like some sort of magic that happened, like that.
Yeah, that it was not a real werewolf on screen.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it was probably pretty eye-opening. Like that and like Fangoria to like, hey, the art goes into this stuff that you like.
Yeah, and so, I watched this thing a million times as a kid, and I remember around that time, like, hearing about the Twilight Zone thing that had happened, years prior, and, knowing, okay, well then, after the Twilight Zone movie, Landis immediately goes to make this thriller video. Didn't seem so weird to me at the time, but, like, in retrospect, you watch this thing, it is so strange to be like, the man is actively on trial for killing 3 people, and in the daytime, he's like dancing around with zombies all day. It's such a strange choice to like surround yourself with like graveyards and death and all this stuff. And for Rick Baker, through that entire video, to be wearing not just one Twilight Zone production crew t-shirt, but multiple. Like, the dude's like just rocking all of the Twilight Zone gear that he can, seemingly to just remind Landis and everybody else of these murders.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, if you got a cool shirt,
It is a cool shirt, the one that says, "Do you want to see something really scary?" Which presumably was a reference to the trial footage.
Yeah. Yeah, to the raw footage.
But, I was thinking about that, and then, thinking about the fact that, like, right after that, Landis makes a movie. Have you seen Into the Night?
No, that's one of the few Landises I haven't seen.
I still haven't seen it, but I was watching, there's a clip on YouTube where Landis talks about the production of it. I think it's taken from like the DVD, and he talks about making this movie. And it's, it's a major studio motion picture starring Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer and all these, acclaimed actors. There's a role in it for a assassin, a killer, a ruthless murderer. And who does John Landis cast but himself, who is not an actor, has never acted in anything else. And he's like, oh, yeah, I know the perfect guy to be a killer on screen. It's me, because I just killed 3 people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's done a little acting, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess a little bit, but still, wild choice. And then after that, he makes the black or white music video with Michael Jackson, in which there's a shot of children being exploded in a forest that is kind of reminiscent of the Twilight Zone. Just a lot of things. You watch this guy's career from, the vantage point that we have now, and it's like, that's a little bit weird. I guess it does make sense that the spawn of his loins would be Max Landis.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Twilight Zone thing, is that it's still somehow only the second worst thing he's ever done.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of Max, have you seen that video of Max Landis making fun of Vic Morrow in the Twilight Zone?
No, I haven't.
I don't even know the context of what this is, but it's on YouTube. It's like a short clip of Max Landis, presumably in his own living room, looking into camera. He's watching the Twilight Zone and like repeating Vic Morrow's lines and like razzing him. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. That
is wild. I
didn't include that in my video because I couldn't find a way to make it musical enough, but man, it was, that's a grim bit of footage there.
Yeah. Max Landis is a guy that has no shortage of like wild fucking, like, how did he get away with this and not be in jail and like not be like murdered in the streets?
Runs
kind
in
of
the
things,
family.
but like, yeah, I did not know about that. I feel like maybe that's like vaguely familiar. I feel like maybe that was like one of like, a million things that people were like mad about when he like, got canceled or whatever you call it. Like, cause like people were mad at him for a lot of things, but like, yeah, that's wild. That's wild stuff.
Yeah. So not a good dude. Interesting trial though, man. I gotta say, as difficult as it was to watch every news channel in Los Angeles play the actual moment of death of these 3 people, like in graphic detail. They played it so many times. It seems like every day they were airing it. I saw this shit hundreds of times. And I didn't include like the really graphic part of my video because like it seemed like that would be kind of counter to the spirit of it. But it's such a weird and interesting trial. I was kind of gripped by it. Like just weird characters in it. Like John Landis's defense attorney is just this weird guy, Harland Braun, who makes all these weird statements. His closing argument is centered around the fact that because Vic Morrow winked at John Landis right before he died, that is somehow some kind of indication that it was a good scene and that somehow justifies him being killed. It's very strange. And Dan Aykroyd takes the stand at one point in the trial, which is weird. And there's this crazy prosecutor who all the news coverage call the Dragon Lady. And she was great. A lot of cool characters. Multiple California state labor commissioners get involved.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a trial.
The producer of the movie, whose name I forgot, who I met and was very nice, he was probably involved.
Yeah. Who's this producer and how'd you meet this guy?
I forget his name. I'm sure. I mean, you probably know. He was like very involved. Like, I mean, he was like up for like all the same like crimes and whatever that John Landis was. His like daughter or something is from my town. So he came out here, like she set it up with him so that he would host a screening of Trading Places at our local like historic Fox Theater. And so I interviewed him for that to promote it. And then I also introduced him at that and did like a Q&A before the movie. And he was like super nice. Like he talked a lot. Like I didn't ask him about the trial because like I mostly just wanted to ask him about like fucking Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy and shit. Like and the Stupids, which he was not involved in, but I still want to talk to him about it. So I didn't ask him about the trial, but I remember him talking a lot about the trial, like him talking about how hard it made them getting jobs afterward and stuff like that, and like how it kind of like derailed their careers, as you might expect.
Yeah, well, maybe if you hire, multiple child actors illegally and involve them in extremely dangerous stunts while you're supplying the helicopter pilot with beers that he's drinking while flying and murdering children, maybe it should be hard to get a job after that. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
John Landis did it, not this guy. This guy was nice. So I don't want to besmirch this guy.
I'm sure he was great.
I forget his name. But yeah, I mean, it is wild. Like, it's wild, like how casually they used to just show that on TV. Like I remember like once every 3 weeks or something, like Hard Copy or Entertainment Tonight would show it, and like the whole thing, like the head flying off, like the whole thing, like they were just like, yeah, we're gonna, like, I feel like it was like the moment of Zen a few times, like on the Daily Show, like people would just show this horrific murder like it was nothing back in the day.
Yeah, it's very strange. And it being a stunt on a movie set, they got plenty of angles of it. I've seen it from above. I've seen it from below. I've seen it from inside Vic Morrow's head. I've seen it, every way that I didn't want to see it.
Yeah, it's wild stuff. Have you seen the, there's a show on Shudder called like Cursed Films or something like that. And they have a whole ass hour-long episode about this. It's pretty interesting.
Oh, I should check that out. I haven't seen that. I'll make a note. Maybe that will lead to a revision in the video. There'll be a remix of the remix with more footage.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good one. There's also a good episode about the Wizard of Oz and how, like, the paint they put on Tin Man fucking gave him cancer.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, they set the witch on fire, like, for real and shit like this. Like,
do they do the Genghis Khan, John Wayne movie where everybody got cancer because they filmed at the site of a nuclear detonation?
Oh my God, I didn't know about that.
You don't know about that? Yeah, I think it's called, is it called The Conqueror? But it's John Wayne as Genghis Khan in the worst yellow face makeup you've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm aware of that aspect of the film.
Yeah, they all got cancer.
That is wild.
Because it was out on I think it's like, was it White Point? Is that the name of the nuclear test site? That we saw in Twin Peaks season 3, episode 8 or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
White
that
Sands,
sounds about right.
Or whatever it is. Yeah, anyway, it's out there.
Yeah.
Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully the inclusion of multiple fake Indian Michael Jacksons, kind of counterbalanced all the depressing decapitation footage.
I thought so. Jennifer was upset. She was like, why are there so many fake Michael Jacksons in this?
She was upset by that part.
Yeah, that's the part that upset her.
My wife was convinced that the part where Michael Jackson is like stretching his own face, that she's like, is that real? I was like, yeah, it's real.
Yeah. I don't know. She was just like upset like that you didn't use enough real Michael Jackson and that they were all imposters or something. I don't know.
You know how YouTube is with the copyrights, man. I'm trying to evade getting flagged.
Yeah.
These bootleg Michaels. I know that, they're not going to sue me.
That's true. if the JFD YouTube gets any more demonetized, we're going to have to start paying them.
I know. It's ridiculous. That is how they get you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
about
enjoyed
you?
the video.
Okay.
It was horrific.
Well, it's all over now, thankfully. I got that out of my system. I don't have to look at that footage anymore. Neither do you, honestly. I made you watch it once. That's all I'm going to ask of you.
I might watch it again. I mean, it's kind of a jam.
Yeah, it's a toe tapper. Considering the amount of real life death in it, it does kind of get the toes tapping.
Yeah. Have we done the Twilight Zone movie on the show?
I don't think so, and I haven't rewatched it since I was a kid. I mean, I was probably like 10 years old watching it with my dad, him telling me the story of like, oh, by the way, this guy that you see here, he's getting killed later on. They're not going to show it, but just you should know this poor man was murdered ruthlessly on set in an incident that they've been calling the Valencia Massacre ever since.
Yeah, that's how I was introduced to it. My dad was very eager to tell me about murders as well.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like a dad rite of passage. Come around, boy. Let me tell you about the murders.
Yeah, there was something going on in the generation of our dads that they love to tell you who died, when they died, how they died. Can't see a shot of New York City in a film without my dad telling me, did you know John Lennon was killed there? I'm like, yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, you tell me that every fucking time New York's in a movie.
Mm-hmm. Despite the murders, though, that segment's still better than that shitty Steven Spielberg segment.
Oh, really?
I think so.
What was the Spielberg segment again?
He did the one with Scatman Crothers where it's like the old people become young and they learn how to play boring ass bullshit.
That's the kind of hogwash I think we could expect from Steven Spielberg, and that's why I'm going to be staying away from Disclosure Day. Is that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Man, what a bad title. I can never even remember it.
Well, the original title was Rusev Day, but they had to change it since he left the AEW. That's the stupidest joke I've ever told. Yeah, that movie looks very bad. I saw like the original trailer for it was like a teaser trailer, and I was like, okay, like looks like typical fucking Spielberg shit, whatever. But the new one looks really bad. It's like, I mean, it's like the worst Spielberg shit, like where it's like he mixes his like wonder that, where everybody's looking at something out of frame, like, and they're bewildered by it. And like, that typical fucking like puzzle box bullshit, like that he does, like mixed with dumbass action, like the worst kind of like Ready Player One action. Like, I'm sure this thing's going to be the biggest fucking hit in the world, but like, man, it looks fucking stupid. I'm so sick of this Spielberg and his stupid shit.
What's the last good movie the guy made? Was it Catch Me If You Can?
I remember liking that journalism movie he made with the Mr. Show guys, but only barely. I only slightly liked that movie. I think everybody else hated it.
I think I know why you don't like Steven Spielberg.
Why is that?
Well, you come from Dayton, but
He comes from Cincinnati.
We do have a rivalry. I've often said that Spielberg's not as good as Martin Sheen of Dayton.
Let's just say I've seen more murals of Pete Rose around Cincinnati than I have Spielberg.
Yeah. Let's see. He did The Fablemans. I don't know. People like that. David Lynch is in it. It's probably good.
You liked West Side Story, right?
Huh?
Didn't you like West Side Story?
I have not seen it, but I hear it's good.
Oh, okay. It seems like you would like that. It's got real High School Musical vibes.
That's the vibes I like. Ready Player One is dog shit. The Post is like fine. It's mediocre. BFG sucks.
Oh, I hated The Post. I thought it was the most boring shit of all time.
Well, let me see. How many stars did I give it? I think I gave it, 3 stars. Yeah. I mean, I'm probably biased because I like journalism. Bridge of Spies is fine. Probably because the Coen brothers wrote it. Lincoln, Warhorse, Tintin is a piece of shit.
Tintin's all right. But maybe just because I'm in the bag for Tintin.
Yeah, you're a Tintin man.
I'm a big fan of French language adventure comics from the mid-century.
Indiana Jones sucked. Munich, who cares? War of the Worlds was bad.
Munich's all right. Yeah. Munich is okay, actually. There's some stuff in Munich. Have you gone back to that?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, really? You should see Munich.
Okay.
There's
I'll
some
see that.
stuff. It's like this, not a very Spielbergian movie. It's very tense. There's a lot of like grappling with the nature of violence, and it's more of an adult film than he tends to make.
Okay. All right. It's in the watch list now. But yeah, and then after that's The Terminal and Catch Me If You Can. So that's probably like the last like truly universally beloved one is Catch Me If You Can.
Well, it's nice to see that you can continue to make films for 25 years after you've made a good one and still get work.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
But,
for him.
I mean, Raiders is great. You get, I mean, and Jaws. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Jaws is a good one.
there's a lot of unassailable classics. You know, I'm always going to love Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's a good one. Saving Private Ryan. That's a good one.
Yeah, you know, the guy did some things.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. Steven Spielberg made some movies that people like, even us.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him. Good for him.
Did you see any movies this week that you liked in the theaters or anywhere else or anything like that?
Actually, I did.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm in the minority though, surprisingly. I saw.
But you liked Minority Report.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I saw.
Okay.
I was in the minority. Most people went to E.T. for the double feature. No, I saw Lee Cronin's The Mummy.
Okay. The famed Lee Cronin. Kind of
Yeah.
like a real film impresario. A titan of the industry, Lee Cronin.
He deserves putting his name above the title of movies. I mean, he's made 2 other movies that were fine, you know.
Okay. And what did you think of this this Cronin joint?
I liked this Cronenberg.
I was trying to find a way to get Cronenberg in there, but I guess I could have said, "Did you take a bite out of this Cronenberg?" Or there's something. Listeners, figure it out and send it in, and we'll replay this conversation at that time.
Yeah, there's something there. Yeah, I like the idea of mummies. Like, I think like the Egyptology is cool. I like kind of like the gothicness of a mummy. I like the kind of like Lovecraftian, you know, like, I mean, it's probably problematic, but I like that kind of like othering of a culture. Like, I think there's something creepy in that, or like at least interesting or something.
You like those guys that have like big muscular bodies, but then like the head of a falcon or some kind of weird like bird?
Mm-hmm. Most certainly. So yeah, I like the idea of mummies, but there's not a lot of good mummy shit out there. Like, I think the Universal Mummy, the first one sucks. Some of the sequels are cool, and then like the Hammer one, like the mummy himself is really scary, but the movie's boring because it's, you know, Hammer. But like, so I don't know. I'm always on the lookout for a mummy. And this is like a very different mummy, which I kind of like and kind of don't like. But I like the movie in general. Like, it's like if you're going there expecting to see like fucking Bela Lugosi wrapped in gauze and like slowly chasing after a guy, like that's definitely not this movie. But it's still a mummy movie. I feel like it's like, I don't know, they do their own thing with the mythology that I think is kind of cool. It's also just straight up like an Evil Dead movie. Like, there's a part where like they read something scary, you know, from like an old timey book, and like you could easily just like have put the Necronomicon in that scene and it would just be like an Evil Dead movie, but which I think is cool. I think a lot of people are criticizing it for that, but it's like, I don't know, like the Necronomicon and like Evil Dead is cool. Like, if you're gonna make a movie that apes that shit, like, cool, good for you. But I mean, outside of that, like, it does ape a lot of other stuff. Like, it's also like very like Hereditary influenced and like Exorcist influenced, which is like fine. But I don't know. But yeah, it's got a lot of that like Sam Raimi campy kind of like tongue in cheek laughy horror that I just love. I thought it was great. I don't know why people are down about it. Like, it's like super gross and it's like super gory and super violent. Like, I mean, it is like 2.5 hours long or something, which is never good for a movie. Spoiler alert. But I guess that's the only thing you could say like that's negative about this movie is it's like super long, but I liked it a great deal. What do you think about mummies?
I think mummies are cool. Like, I wonder why we only do Egyptian mummy movies, right? Like, other cultures are mummifying. Has there been a Chinese mummy movie? And there's certainly plenty of mummies to be found in China.
That's true. I know that there are some, like, I know Santo and Blue Demon fought Aztec mummies from time to time.
Okay, yeah, that's something. I like that. I feel like those guys need to make a comeback, reassert their dominance on the silver screen. Let's get some Aztec mummies up there.
Yeah, that would be fun. I bet there might be some.
I'm trying to think, though, like, what are the mummy movies that I actually really like? And speaking of Sam Raimi, I feel like maybe Darkman might kind of sideways qualify as a mummy movie. Dude's wearing bandages.
Yeah, he's got the bandages. Darkman might technically be undead, maybe. I think it's been a long time since I've seen it. Darkman might technically be dead in that movie.
Didn't he get hit by lightning or something? It's like
Yeah.
a Frankenstein type scenario.
I mean, yeah, I think it's all of the Universal monsters rolled into one, basically, is kind of the inspiration.
Yeah, I guess he's kind of like an invisible man as well.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of counts. I mean, Tales from the Dark Side, for my money, is probably the best mummy movie.
Okay. But only, a third of it or whatever.
Yeah, sadly, only a third of it, but that's a good mummy story.
I feel like we still haven't really cracked the code on the ultimate mummy feature. So I'm down with people trying. I don't know. Like, I got no problem with reusing monster archetypes over and over again. I think that's fun.
Yeah. And this one does, weird stuff with it. It's not your typical mummy. It's kind of a possession thing, like an Egyptian sort of a possession. It's like, I don't know, it's fun. It's good stuff.
All right. You saw that at the cinema?
Indeed I did. Yeah. I went all the way out to the cinema to see it.
Very nice. Well, you did your part in supporting the Hollywood ecosystem, and we appreciate that.
I'm glad that people like that. I'm glad we're keeping movies afloat.
This is a really long applause drop.
I should probably clean that up a little bit.
All right. Well, speaking of movies that are in theaters, I think that there might be some movies coming out next month, in the month of May, in theaters, right? They're doing that still, I think.
Yeah, they are for now.
All right. Well, I guess maybe then we should just head over to Wikipedia for the list of American films of 2026 page and scroll down to the month of May and see what's coming out in the month of May 2026.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
You like that idea?
I do, yeah. All right, so I think there's a lot of stuff coming out on the first here.
Yeah.
The big thing that probably isn't big to us by any stretch of the imagination, but I know kids are excited about it. All right, I mean, by kids, I mean elder millennial women. The Devil Wears Prada Part 2. Oh. This is the sequel to that movie that came out like 20 years ago that made Anne Hathaway a star. It's also got Justin Theroux from Inland Empire, I think. We remember him.
Yeah,
Stanley
from Mulholland
Tucci.
Drive.
Meryl Streep's in there. And my guy, Kenneth Branagh. I've seen 800 fucking commercials for this movie, and I don't know. I don't really care about it, but I know a lot of other people do. Did you see the first one of this? Do you care about this at all?
I saw the first one of this, not exactly when it came out, but whenever it hit video or stream. I can't remember why I watched it or who talked me into it, but I did see it. I remember seeing it and thinking, okay, this is fine. It was kind of, I guess, like Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, in terms of these scenes in this, this fashion world or whatever, with somebody that was in a little bit over their head. I like Meryl Streep, so the fact that she can keep working and continue to get paid, I'm down with that. But yeah, it's not really a movie for me, I don't think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But also coming out around that time, on the 1st of May is Animal Farm, a cautionary tale, Tail. Some of that famous George Orwell wit that we all love, his use of wordplay like that, cautionary tale. It's one of his lines. This looks like it's animated, right? Starring Seth Rogen. Or maybe it's not. Maybe Seth Rogen is playing a real-life pig. I don't know. Maybe it's live action. It's hard to say. Kieran Culkin, Steve Buscemi, Woody Harrelson, other people. What else? It's the third adaptation of Orwell's work following a 1954 animated film and the 1999 live-action film. This has an alternative coming-of-age plot that introduces new characters, such as piglets, who are named Lucky. Well, that's great. Awesome. I'm super hyped. You know what George Orwell's work needed was revisions from some jerk-offs at whatever bullshit studio put this together. The Imaginarium studio. I'm sure that they've got a lot to say about the nature of the world and class and society, and I'm sure they'll convey it much more eloquently than Orwell ever would have. Do you know anything about this? I didn't even know that they were making this.
Yeah. I've heard that they're making this. Andy Serkis is directing it, who, he was Gollum, and he does a lot of these,
oh yeah,
directs some of these movies where,
and he is British, so I guess, credit where credit's due. He's from the same nation as Orwell.
Is he? I think, is he not? Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. He's English. I thought maybe he was Australian, but yeah, it seems so weird. I feel like a lot of parents are going to accidentally take their kids to this, but then again, maybe it is like a kids movie because
I think it's a kids movie.
That's weird.
I mean, look at the poster. It looks like a kids movie, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know how. Yeah, how weird. I mean, and yeah, the inclusion of this character Lucky, who's like a piglet torn between Napoleon and Snowball's teachings, like doing a coming of age story with him. I guess it must be, but does that mean that the politics are like super watered down?
I think so. I'm looking at a quote from Peter de Bruges of Variety. Circus's 21st century update dilutes Orwell's political allegory in favor of what passes for something more audience friendly.
Okay.
So fuck that. This shouldn't exist. If you told me that Andy Serkis had made a really, subversive film here that looks like a kid's film, but then is going to tear back the curtains of society and reveal, the hideous underbelly, I'm all for that. Because I think that's honestly what the book was like. I read the book as a young kid because it looked like a kid's book. And it fucked me up. I was like, oh shit, everybody's evil. And society is insane. So if he's doing that, that's cool. But it does not seem like that's the case here.
Yeah. The IGN review notes that Serkis shifts Orwell's allegory from Stalinism to modern corporate corruption, trading the dystopian tone for something a little more uplifting. Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
All right, well, presumably somebody in Orwell's estate is getting paid, and I guess they're to blame for this. I don't know.
Yeah.
In 1945, it's not public domain or anything.
No, not yet.
Craziness. What's next? An adaptation of 1984 that recasts everybody as K-pop singers?
Yeah, I would see that. I'd watch that.
Right,
I got this movie here. It's called Deep Water. My man, Rennie Harlan, who somehow keeps getting work despite just making a trio of Strangers movies that all fucking flopped horribly and nobody liked it all. He's directing a movie about sharks. A group of international passengers en route from Los Angeles to Shanghai are forced to make an emergency landing in shark-infested waters. Now they must work together in hopes to overcome the frenzy of sharks drawn to the wreckage. This stars Ben Kingsley, Aaron Eckhart, lots of other people. This sounds probably pretty bad, but I like killer sharks. I would see this if I have a free night in the week that it's out in the theaters.
What's that movie? Is it called Open Water from about 20 years ago or so?
Yeah, there's Open Water, which is a shark movie. And then I think Rennie Harlan did Deep Blue Sea, which is another shark attack movie.
Yeah. But this sounds like it's almost exactly like open water to me. Maybe I'm totally wrong. I haven't seen the trailer. Maybe the tone is very different. But if this is like just another kind of minimalist type movie where it's just people in the water with sharks, I feel like that's already been done. But I should see the trailer on this because maybe it'll be cool.
Yeah,
The
it's got a
inclusion
really
of
big
sharks
cast.
is, that's always a good sign for me.
Yeah, there's a really big cast, so that would be cool if it was kind of minimalist and you just had like 20 people out in the water getting picked off one by one for 2 hours or whatever. Like, this also kind of reminds me of that Rene Cardona movie, Cyclone, where those people were in the airplane wreck and then had to not get eaten by sharks for 2 hours. That was a good movie.
Did you see who produced this film?
I did, yeah. Gene Simmons.
Yeah, star of Never Too Young to Die.
Yeah.
It's getting
The mark
back
of
in
quality.
back in the film game. All right, yeah, so that's coming out. That looks all right. What about this Hokum movie? It's a supernatural horror flick written and directed by Damian McCarthy, who did Caveat and Oddity. I don't know those. But it's about an author who travels to a remote part of Ireland to spread the ashes of his deceased parents, unaware that his rented accommodation could be haunted. Oh, starring Adam Scott from Severance, your favorite TV show.
Yeah. I've heard that this is scary. People are talking about it. I've heard that Oddity movie that this guy did is very good. I like Adam Scott. There's somebody in the cast here that I feel like this might be a spoiler just to say, but I'm going to say it anyway because this makes me super intrigued to watch this movie. Austin Emilios is in this movie as a character called the Conquistador.
Wait.
So if there's conquistadors in this movie, I'm in. 100%. What about you?
I mean, if they're mummy conquistadors, even better,
That would be good.
I mean, presumably, if it's set in present day, I mean, there's not very many conquistadors still left living. So I would think that they must be undead.
I would hope so, yeah.
Or maybe it's like kind of a metaphor, or, like it's a nickname for this guy, like Adam Scott's wingman at the bar. He goes out drinking with the conquistador.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
Who knows? I mean, the only way to know will be to catch Hokum in like the first week of May.
Yeah. If any of you listeners out there need a conquistador by your side at the bar, let me know. I'm good. I'm good at helping. I like to help people. Make out with chicks at bars. So
I just like to relax during entertainment.
Well, once it happens, I like to relax. I'm on edge beforehand because I'm nervous. I want it to happen.
I've heard about
take
you
my
edging
job
out there.
seriously.
Well, speaking of Michael Jackson, this next film, One Spoon of Chocolate, co-stars Paris Jackson, his daughter, one of his daughters.
Yeah,
this is a action thriller drama film, written, produced, and directed by the Rizzler, starring mostly people who I don't recognize their names, and then Blair Underwood and Paris Jackson and some other people. An ex-military convict leaves for a small town where he ends up finding love and more trouble than he can handle. It actually says, and more trouble that he can handle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of a spoiler that he handles it.
Well, I wonder, is that a typo, or did they really mean to say more trouble that he can handle? Because it's not really how people would say anything ever, right?
Yeah, I would hope that it's a typo. Because otherwise, like, where's the drama? Like, oh, this guy can handle this readily.
No conflict, or just a very small conflict, I guess. But
yeah.
Rizzler's making a movie again. Just called him Rizzler there, as if I was my dad's age.
The Rizzler.
The Rizzler, yeah, back in action. Was the last thing that he made that terrible Man with the Iron Fist movie?
I think he did a sequel to it, which I'm sure was probably even more terrible.
Yeah, so my expectations are not sky high, but I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for the Rizzler as always. Like that guy, like his music.
Yeah. I like him too. Yeah, I don't know. This seems interesting, I guess. I'm glad he's making movies, you know. He loves a good kung fu movie. Let him make kung fu movies.
Yeah. And if it keeps them away from the Costco's, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got something hot here. Speaking of kung fu movies, we got Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. In this movie, the champions of Earthrealm, joined by Johnny Cage, are forced into battle against one another as they attempt to resist the rule of Shao Kahn, whose rise threatens the survival of Earthrealm and its defenders. Mortal Kombat 1 came out during COVID. I think it was probably underseen, probably criminally underseen, because it's pretty fun from what I remember. In this one, we got Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. And that's cool. And a lot of prominent characters from the video games get killed in this trailer, so maybe avoid it if you're worried about that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm in. The last one was fun. This one looks fun. I think they kind of capture the violence of the original in a way that original movie from the 90s didn't really do. Yeah, I will be seeing this. This is the kind of goofy shit I'm into.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I didn't even know that there was a Mortal Kombat 1 when this trailer started showing like a year ago. I feel like we started seeing this trailer. But I liked the trailer. I liked what I saw. I thought it was a sequel to the 1990s Mortal Kombat. I didn't know that there was a sequel in the 90s and then this new series that has been started since. And I think I'm going to hold on to that, incorrect assumption. I think I'm going to go into this just pretending as if it were a sequel to the 1990s one. Probably going to skip everything that happened in between and just see how that works for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you've played the games, I'm sure you'll be able to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, my understanding is that there will be people fighting each other in the movie. I think that's probably what I'm most interested in about it.
Yeah, I think so.
Less so, whether or not Johnny Cage is able to, develop as a human being or, progress his emotional state or anything like this. That doesn't, who cares? Does a guy get punched in the face? Okay. Does Ed Boon shout, "Get over here," and then a big chain comes across the screen? That's all I need.
Yeah, according to the cast, Ed Boon provides Scorpion's "Get Over Here" voice in the movie.
You would hope so. You would hope that they would get some kind of an archival recording for that.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you this though: what is? And I need an answer on this from you, Bowman. And I don't want you Googling. I just need you to tell me, what is the Earth Realm?
Earth Realm is Earth.
How is it different from just Earth?
I mean, that's just kind of what they call it. Like, it's,
Does it include like the rest of our universe? And then like, this is a multiverse scenario? If so, like, why would you name it after Earth if it's only one planet?
Well, I mean, because Earth is the only important planet in our universe, obviously.
I don't know about that. It's hardly my favorite.
Well, it's the only one with good fighters. We can put it that way.
All right, fair. Yeah, fair. Proven fighters. We'll say that.
Yeah, but yeah, it is a multiverse situation.
Okay, all right. Well, seems like a strange name, but who am I to question John Tobias and Ed Boon?
Yeah, I mean,
they know how to make things toasty.
Yeah, I mean, they named the guy with cold powers Sub-Zero. They know how to name stuff,
Yeah, exactly. Well, speaking of names, I did want to point out the name of this film, Casa Grande, is coming out. And, it looks like some kind of a drama with Lou Diamond Phillips. But I like the fact that Warner Brothers is putting out a flick bold enough, to put it out in Spanish language, the title. But they did pick, maybe the two most recognizable Spanish words, so it's the kind of Spanish language title that, our parents can get into,
Yeah, I feel like there are enough Mexican restaurants named Casa Grande that, most people probably are okay with kind of piecing together what this movie is about.
You know, it's a little bit of a hack there. You know, you want to seem like you're multicultural, but you don't actually know that much. Just throw Casa Grande into your own conversations. You know, somebody comes over to your house. Welcome to my Casa Grande. They're going to be impressed.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably true.
What other movies are coming out?
Not too much. Not too much. Let me see what we got here.
Yeah, The Sheep Detective, some kind of a mystery comedy film with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I saw a commercial for that. It doesn't look very good.
Poster looks bad.
Yeah.
Takeover, an upcoming action thriller with Quavo and Billy Zane. Twin Peaks' own Billy Zane.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't really know anything about that.
Oh, here we got
some. We got
Couples Weekend.
Okay.
Two couples are forced to deal with infidelity while snowed in. This movie stars Alexandra Daddario, who is cool. Davey Diggs, who I'm just in love with him. I'll be honest with you. I just want to kiss him. I love him. I love him in every fucking thing he's in. And also Josh Gad is in here and some other lady. I guess this is a comedy drama. I will watch this based on the fact that I like most of the people in this movie.
Okay.
What do you think about Davey Diggs?
Have I seen David Diggs in anything is the question.
Maybe you haven't. He was on BoJack Horseman.
I like David Letterman.
He's also pretty good. He's also on the new season of The Boys. He's on Solar Opposites.
Yeah, I don't really know this dude very well. The name gets batted around, probably from his Hamilton performance, I guess.
He's really good in Hamilton. He was in something called Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, that ran from 2022 to 2024.
That doesn't seem like a real thing.
Apparently Fraggle Rock came back for 27 episodes and 2 Christmas specials.
No. That's not real.
This is crazy. I'm going to have to check this out.
Well, will you be checking out Blue Film? Coming out on May 8th. The premise, a cam boy agrees to spend the night with an anonymous client only to discover a shocking tie to his past. You gonna see this?
That sounds pretty erotic.
Yeah.
So I will probably see it.
Starring Kieran Moore and Reed Birney, of course. And it says right here that the director managed to get Mark Duplass to join as a consulting producer. So that's
okay.
exciting.
I'm out. No, I'm good.
Now you're out. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a consulting producer doing on a movie?
Probably nothing. Probably some sort of embezzlement scheme.
Yeah, it seems like what it is.
Duplasses. I don't need them. Don't want them.
I don't even need one plus.
Exactly. Let's see what else we got here. We got In the Gray, the new Guy Ritchie movie. Starring Henry Cavill.
Nobody's going to see the new Guy Ritchie movie, dude. Come on.
I know. Well, I mean, that's kind of, yeah. Especially one starring Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Nobody likes him.
Well, you got Fisher Stevens, though. I see he's in the cast.
Well.
Short Circuit's own.
Mm-hmm. And Rosamund Pike. I like her. But yeah, nobody's going to see that fucking shit. Nobody in America, anyway.
A secret team of elite agents is recovering a vast fortune. I mean, this sounds like every other Guy Ritchie movie that I have skipped in the past 20 years.
Yeah, he's only made the one movie.
Obsession is an upcoming supernatural horror movie from Curry Barker. We got a new C. Barker in the horror game.
All right.
It's about a music store employee who, I don't want to read this multi-paragraph synopsis. Some shit goes down. I don't know. People are saying that this is good, and I kind of want to be unspoiled on it, so I'm actually not even going to read much of the description for myself, but...
Oh, I know what this is, yeah.
Then is there a remake? Michael Johnston is starring, I guess. He's the kid from Teen Wolf. I don't know. I don't really know much about this, but I feel like people are very high on this one. I feel like this might be one that people are talking about.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for this before The Mummy, and it looks very good. I won't tell you anymore, but it looks good.
All right.
Now let me tell you about this movie that's coming out. It's very exciting. Jack Ryan Ghost War, starring John Krasinski. It's so weird that John Krasinski pivoted from The Office to making like very right-wing movies, but here we go. This is another Amazon MGM movie based on a Tom Clancy book, another Jack Ryan thing. He's going to save the world, blah, blah, blah. Do you care about Jack Ryan or Tom Clancy movies?
No, and the last time I saw this dude's face on screen, I was throwing a large root beer at a man in a movie theater. So,
oh yeah.
I've not really gone back to Jim from The Office's work since then.
Well, he can go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Nah, he's fine. I don't know. I got no problem with him.
Well, do you have a problem with Is God Is, an upcoming American thriller film? I can be more specific. It's about twin sisters with disfiguring burn scars that are ordered by their bedridden mother to kill their abusive father who caused the scars. They must decide whether to seek vengeance or find mercy. Sounds pretty fucking hardcore. You know about this thing?
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for this a few times. It looks very Tarantino-y. Like it has like very much like the trailer at least. I mean, I don't know about the tone of the actual movie. Like has like a big like kind of like grindhouse sort of vibe to it, like
Okay.
exploitation,
Like
70s.
Drive-Away Dolls style?
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah, it feels like a throwback to kind of like, yeah, some of the 70s exploitation things we've seen. So I'm kind of intrigued by it, but I don't know if that's just like really good marketing or if the movie actually looks good. But I guess I'll find out.
What else you got in theaters?
Oh, I got something big here. I got The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, both of them.
Both of them back together in a movie that was originally supposed to be a season of television that they condensed down into a movie. This is directed by Jon Favreau, written by Dave Filoni even, starring Pedro Pascal, Sigourney Weaver, Jeremy Allen White, Martin Scorsese. I like that Mandalorian. You know me, I hate Star Wars, but Mandalorian's fine. He's good. This movie looks fun. I think the trailer is cute and like has like a fun adventure vibe to it. Low stakes, which I like. I'm tired of going to see Star Wars and it's fucking end of the world bullshit all the time. But man, what I'm really into about this movie is that Babu Frick from Rise of Skywalker is back in this movie. And he's my favorite character in all of Star Wars. So I'm going to be here day one. I'm probably going to see it multiple times. I'm hyped for this son of a bitch. What do you think about this? You like that Mandalorian, right?
I do like The Mandalorian. And I feel like we might be the only two people in the world that are at all excited for this movie.
Seems that way, yeah.
There was like a shift that happened where I feel like initially everybody loved The Mandalorian. And then maybe Disney just made like too many Star Wars things all at once.
Mm-hmm.
People turned against it. And then they made like that one Star Wars thing that's not a Star Wars thing, Andor. And everybody was all over the moon for it because they're like, finally, a Star Wars that's not at all Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I don't fucking need that. And I tried to watch one episode of it and I was not into it. But I like this. I don't know. I'm easy to please when it comes to dumb, imaginative, colorful sci-fi stuff. If there's aliens, flying spaceships across the screen and it looks cool, I'm on board. So I think this will have plenty of that. And I don't even mind, that they put it on the big screen. I'm no longer a Disney Plus subscriber. I once was, when this show was on there and back when, you could afford a month of streaming on an honest day's salary. But now it's honestly, it's cheaper to go to the movies than it is to subscribe to these streamers. So yeah, put it in theaters where I can save money.
Yeah. I've got Regal Unlimited. It's $22 a month and I get to see however many movies I want. That's like, about as much as a Netflix fucking subscription now.
Well, and if you want it with no ads and an appropriate amount of pixels, you probably got to pay twice as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this will be fun. And yeah, like, it does look colorful and silly and fun. Like those new Star Wars movies, and I mean Andor too. Although I only watched like 5 minutes of Andor, but it's like they're all so fucking dour. Like, I don't know if everybody just like wanted to get so far away from Jar Jar and Ewoks that like they made some dour ass fucking bullshit like Rogue One, like, like as a response, or what the fuck's going on with Star Wars. But yeah.
No, I think it's just that everybody grew up hearing over and over again from everybody that ever talked about Star Wars. Well, Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back is the best.
Yeah.
And so everybody just wants to make Empire Strikes Back over and over again. But it's like, it's not all there is to Star Wars, man. Yeah, I mean, silly ass Ewoks, that is a part of it.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, I guess people miss the fact that like even in Empire, like Yoda was a fucking goofball and like Lando was like a silly guy. So, I mean, there's room for that stuff even in your dour Star Wars, you would think, but it's also much of a fucking bummer.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this does. A lot of people are predicting that this is going to be a big box office disappointment for Disney, but I don't know. I think that might be people who are maybe chronically online kind of underrating the draw of this.
Yeah. I read that it has like a pretty low budget. Like that they kind of made it on the cheap. So I think even if I guess if it doesn't make $1 billion because it's Star Wars, like the perception will probably be that it's a bomb, because Star Wars always makes it, or, is Star Wars. But like, I feel like because they're making it kind of on the cheap, like if this thing underperforms, it will still be kind of a success for Disney. So like, and we'll probably get more things like it. So I don't know. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with it.
Interesting also to see, does it impact their approach to producing this stuff in the future? Like, will we see more Mandalorian movies, or are they going to go back to a serialized TV approach, or how will they do it?
Yeah, if this thing, like, even with its like smaller budget, like if this thing comes out and like super bombs, then I bet we're probably done seeing Star Wars on the big screen for a long while.
It's been a while already. I feel like has it been 10 years maybe? Almost?
Probably. Yeah, probably close to that. Let's see, we got this movie, I Love Boosters. This is directed by Boots Riley. This stars Keke Palmer and a bunch of other people. I've seen the trailer for this. This looks kind of fun. In a surreal version of the San Francisco Bay Area, a group of shoplifters known as boosters take aim at a cutthroat fashion maven after she steals their designs. His last movie was interesting to me. I didn't like it as much as everybody else. Sorry to bother you. But I like this guy in general, I think. I like his musics. I like his attitude. So this looks fun and colorful, and I will probably see it, I think. What do you think about this kind of thing?
Yeah, likewise. I don't have any strong feelings about it. I haven't seen the trailer, but I remember liking Sorry to Bother You, I think. I was trying to see what I rated it on Letterboxd. Yeah, 3.5. I liked it. So I'm down.
Yeah. Jason Ritter is in it, the son of John Ritter, the GOAT.
There you go. What else is coming out? Corporate Retreat, an American horror thriller film. Directed by Aaron Fisher, starring people I don't know. Not that I knew Aaron Fisher. I was just trying to breeze past that. Alan Ruck is in this, actually. We know him. Rosanna Arquette's in this. We know her. Mm-hmm. Some other people. Omar Sharif Jr. You want to talk about famous children of famous actors?
Yeah.
Presumably, he's the son of Omar Sharif, the actor. It'd be weird if he was some other Omar Sharif's son. A group of corporate executives attend a highly recommended corporate retreat that quickly turns violent and deadly. All right. Maybe kind of like Send Help, but without the island.
Yeah, seems like it.
You ever been on a corporate retreat, Bowman?
No, I don't. No, I haven't. I mean, yeah, luckily, if you want to put it that way, I've always worked for newspapers that have no money. So I have not done anything like this.
Yeah. My last
Have you?
employer, well, no, I haven't, but my last employer did organize this giant corporate retreat for the entire company, all descended upon like this little beach resort in Mexico for like a full week or something. You know, they invited everybody. I think I was like one of maybe 2 or 3 people that were, not into it. So I didn't go, but I couldn't imagine anything worse than being away from, my routine and the people that I like and the things that I like, and having to spend a full week with my coworkers in some strange place. That sounds awful to me.
Yeah, you probably have to do like all these like team building exercises and like escape rooms and stuff or some stuff.
Yeah, and probably have to listen to executives tell stories while they're drunk off their ass, and I have to pretend like I care.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I didn't have to do any of that. I just stayed home and worked the entire time while nobody else worked.
Well,
anyhow, corporate retreat. It's a movie.
Yeah. I got a movie here. It's coming out on the 29th, I think. This is a movie we're going to do on the show when it comes out. So everybody get together, do a corporate retreat with your homies to go see this in the theater so we can all watch it together.
Oh, I think I know the movie you're talking about. Little feature film called Fuck Toys?
Actually, I've heard that movie is really good. So it's also possible that we'll do that on the show at some point.
I think we should do both. Both that and
The Back Rooms, of course.
And The Back Rooms. I knew it.
The Back Rooms, of course, based on the short film that kind of kicked off the Back Rooms as a phenomenon, sort of creepypasta.
Well, did the short film kick it off? I thought just like a GIF, like just a JPEG actually kicked it off.
I mean, yeah, I think that's possible. Yeah, it might have been like, the JPEG and then like maybe some creepypastas or something like.
Oh, this is interesting. So do you know, without clicking, don't do any Wikipedia clicking around. I know you like to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the origin is of the original Backrooms image? Like, what are we looking at when we see the original photo?
I think for a long time, nobody knew. And then I think recently it was like somebody found that it was like a furniture store or something, right?
It was a Hobby Town store.
Okay.
That was under renovation.
Okay. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I think somebody like just recently figured that out, which is interesting.
So yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie, directed by Kane Parsons, the guy who did the short film.
Oh yeah. And we all
which is
remember
super
Jim
cool.
Ross with his, famous call, "It's Kane! It's Kane!"
Yeah.
He said.
That's gotta be Kane. Which, yeah, I am happy he got to do this because, like, I don't think that you can copyright, creepy liminal space as an idea. So I feel like some movie studio could have just like done their own version of this and like totally fucked this kid over. So I'm glad that he's getting to do his own thing. Although I guess he probably has the name The Back Rooms copyrighted, I would think. So like maybe you kind of have to. I don't know. Either way. This looks very good. I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah. Apparently you didn't see the cast list though.
Well, I saw that Mark Duplass is in here, which I don't care for.
We don't need him. We don't want him. Get him out of here.
I don't want it. Yeah. But Chiwetel Ejiofor is in it, and he's a great actor. So I'm excited for this. He's the main guy. Yeah, I mean, it looks like a full-length, sort of more narrative-driven version of the short film. And it also looks a lot like the book House of Leaves, which I guess the Backrooms, just as a concept, sort of owes a lot to in general. But that's cool. That book is scary as fuck. So I'm all in on this. I think this looks great. That fucking short film. We did it on the show back when we did short films from time to time, and you and I both cared for it a great deal. I think also Kevin probably did. It's just creepy. It's like the whole concept is like you stumble into like a weird room, like you fall asleep and you wake up and you're just like in a weird room or whatever that goes on and on forever. And it's like, like it's like those weird kind of spaces, like, like if you've ever been to like a church after hours, like just kind of wide open, strange spaces, or like those weird like back hallways in a mall, or like, like if a store is going out of business and there's not much shit in it, like those kind of like weird spaces you find yourself in that are like just kind of inherently creepy. Yeah, it's like a whole movie about an endless one of those, which I find endlessly scary. And so, yeah, we're probably going to do this on the show, but so it's probably going to be mandatory. But what do you think about this? Are you going to see this?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know if I would have rushed out to the theater to see it, were it not imperative. I have an interest. I will see this eventually. Definitely, at some point would have streamed it. But if it's mandatory, yeah, of course I'll go see it, and excitedly so, because I think it's a weird enough concept that is, I don't really feel like something that we've seen on screen before, outside of like the short film. So yeah, I'm down. I like these back rooms.
Yeah, it looks creepy.
And I'm also down with fuck toys. This is a film debut by writer-director Annapurna. Help me out with this, Bowman.
Saram?
There you go. We'll go with that. I don't know how do you pronounce S followed by R? I don't usually see a word that starts with S and then R.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But directed by Annapurna Saram, let's say, maybe, and as she becomes more well known, I'm sure we'll all get a better handle on her name. This movie stars herself as well as some people I don't know, and also rapper Big Freedia. She's in this. Inspiration for the style of the film includes films such as Angel and Crimes of Passion, the works of John Waters, Greg Araki, and Jim Jarmusch. It was shot on Super 16 in Louisiana. And yeah, it looks cool to me. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but it seems like some real old school trash filmmaking.
Oh, hell yeah.
The type that we haven't seen in a long time. So do you know anything about this? Have you seen a trailer or anything on this?
I've not seen a trailer.
I guess it played at South by Southwest and it got a special jury prize. People liked it.
Yeah. I think it's also screened in LA because some LA podcasters I like said that they watched it and that it was like fantastic.
Oh, I don't trust any LA podcasters.
That's a good point. But yeah, I think like there was some worry, I think, for a minute that this movie would like become lost media because while people like it, like there was like a lot of interest in like, it being distributed and bought up by like some company after it screened at South by Southwest. But the director was like, I'm not changing the name. Like, if you want to distribute my movie, it's got to be with the name Fuck Toys. And like, obviously a lot of places were like, well, that's kind of a deal breaker. But yeah, somebody did it. Somebody picked it up. So
yeah, who did? Let's give credit to whoever the hell this is. I don't see a distributor listed yet on their Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So
it just says, Trash Town Pictures and Atypical Day, which is probably like the director's company or something. So maybe they're doing like the Kevin Smith thing where they're just like going to be traveling it around and showing it at, one movie theater at a time or something.
Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can find this out. Because it is crazy. Yeah, it's not like it's F asterisk CK toys. Like they didn't obscure it at all. It is just Fuck Toys, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty respectable that the directors stuck to their guns on not changing the name. Even at the risk of nobody ever seeing the movie.
I think they're doing their own distribution for it. Yeah. Because I just Googled it. The only results I see are Fuck Toys is the best undistributed movie of the year. Why has nobody bought the rights to Fuck Toys? And then I see listed on South by Southwest schedule, they say distributor Trashtown Pictures, which I would assume is the filmmaker herself. But
Yeah.
yeah, who knows? Crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's becoming more and more of a model. Like, I think the Terrifier movies have like a very small distributor, but like, like with big word of mouth and, the fact that, you can like movie theaters are all closing. So I think that they're like kind of trying to, branch out a little bit. Like the Terrifier movies were like unrated, which it like usually gets you, not into movie theaters, but like, yeah, I think movie theaters are like, fuck it. Yeah, we'll put Fuck Toys in our theater. Like, what do we have to lose? Like, nothing else makes money anymore.
I do feel like it's a bit of an easier sell with a horror movie, though. I think something about, the horror community allows you to have that kind of breakthrough hit, like the fandom is so rabid and they'll do the promo for you in a way where hopefully this does well. Yeah, I don't know, like I'm excited for it. I hope there's other people excited for it. Hopefully some of us can do a bit of the work, I guess, to carry the word for this if it turns out as good as I'm assuming it will, just based only on a poster where I see a foxy lady on a scooter and the word Fuck Toys above it.
Yeah.
I don't have much to go on, but somehow I've got a really good feeling about this one.
Yeah. As do I. I mean, it says it's like John Waters and Greg Araki. Like, I mean, masterpiece already.
Yeah. All right, well, keep your eyes peeled for Fuck Toys at the end of May.
Yeah. I think the last movie coming out in May is this thing called Miss You, Love You. This is directed by and written by Jim Rash from Community, one of my favorite guys. He's very funny. Alice and Janney from Dayton, Ohio is in this. Andrew Rannells, who is a genius. This is a movie it's by HBO Films, so it's probably just going to be on HBO, I guess. But a grieving widow is forced to plan her husband's funeral with her estranged son's assistant. That doesn't sound that intriguing, but I like this cast and I like this director, so I will watch this.
All right, well, shout out to your buddy from Community.
Yeah. He's good. He's a nice guy.
And those are all of the movies that will be available in the month of May. There will be no other movies available to you, so don't even think about watching anything else.
Yeah. Kind of a lot of, a mixed bag, a lot of interesting stuff.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a decent lineup. We're settling into the summer, I guess. No real big blockbusters, I don't think, on this list, but
yeah.
Maybe Devil Wears Prada 2? What is the biggest movie?
Probably Mandalorian.
Oh yeah, I guess Mandalorian. Although, again, was almost a TV show instead, so.
Yeah, so I guess we'll see.
All right, well, I think that wraps it up for the month of May 2026, and there we go. The much-deserved applause, presumably for me and my handling of that segment and the transition. Check out this transition. We'll be right back.
Whoa. I got an email here.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I got an email to talk about. All right. We got an email this week. Got no voicemails. We do have an email. Although this email is from February, but I did want to get to it for some
February of what year?
February of this year.
Okay.
Well, the follow-up is from this year.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this will illustrate how bad we are at checking the emails, or getting back to the emails. I think we look at them from time to time. But okay, so on August 8th, 2023, Gary wrote in, listener Gary. He says, "Hello, JFD. It's been a while since I checked in on you guys, and we'll have to pick the show back up again. I've been tearing my hair out all night trying to remember a movie you guys reviewed some time ago. The only thing I can remember is that it may have been a bizarre 90s B movie about a guy hiding out in a weird trailer park. I don't think any of you are impressed by it, but I do remember someone going on a bit of a tangent about Yoo-Hoo, the drink, because one of the drinks in it reminded you guys of it. Sadly, that's all I've got. Hopefully that's enough. Thanks, Gary. He wrote that in August of 2023. Then in February of this year,
wow, very patient man.
He says, "Hey guys, I emailed this a while back, but wanted to follow up. I'm so sorry, Gary. I'm sorry that we made you wait 18 months.
Yeah, poor Gary's going to have no more hair left to pull out.
Yeah, he was probably just sitting around his house waiting for us to email him back so he could watch this movie.
He's probably pulling other people's hair out by now.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Gary.
But the good news is that you do remember the movie. You got that steel trap memory that Bowman is known for, and you remember the movie, don't you?
I actually think I do remember this movie. I think it's Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, directed by Joel Hirschman from the year 1992, starring Adrian Shelley and Sean Young and Diane Ladd. It's a movie I picked. I gave it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. Actually, maybe it might have been a Dom DeLuise pick. But I would have picked it from the Dom DeLuise list because I fucking love Adrian Shelley. But I'm pretty sure that's what this movie is. According to Letterboxd, it's about, let's see, there's a fugitive in search of a new identity, and he lands in a trashy trailer park where he touches the lives of several dysfunctional residents. This has to be it. So,
yeah.
Hopefully you're listening, Gary. Otherwise, I'll have to email you back.
According to the junkfooddinner.com post about this episode 267, the episode also features some chatter about Dick Slammer, which I don't know what that is, but it has me intrigued enough that I might re-listen to the episode.
Okay. Sounds pretty good. So yeah, thank you for the email, Gary, and I hope that this finds you. I hope you can finally watch this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully you're able to dial up that movie with a frosty bottle of Yoo-Hoo in your hand, make an evening out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them JFS sent you.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you guys want to send us an email that it might take us 18 months to get back to you about, do so at jftpodcast@gmail.com.
I like those guys.
Or send a voicemail. 347-746-JUNK. That's 347-746-5865. Gary, if you would have sent a voicemail, you would have found out literally less than a week later what this movie was. Not for nothing. Not trying to shame you. But that is the easiest way. Or joining the Discord. That's also probably easy. Probably could have figured it out that way.
Oh, yeah. If you were on the Discord, you would have known not only about this immediately, but you would have had early access to the Michael Jackson's Thriller Twilight Zone remix video that I posted on the Discord. I post a lot of things on that Discord, it turns out.
Yeah. And you'd be able to see a picture of me and Frisbee eating ice cream that I plan on posting later tonight.
Oh, actually, speaking of Frisbee, and I know we're in the middle of my transition into the next segment, which is going to be the review of Yumeji, so kind of an inopportune time to bring this up. But speaking of Frisbee, how far into Stardom's All-Star Grand Queendom 2026 pay-per-view are you at the moment?
Oh,
I still haven't gotten around to the main event, but I'm mostly through it.
I haven't started it, but I saw that there's something in there I'm going to like.
There's something in there you're going to like, and I'll just go ahead and spoil it because my confidence level in you actually getting around to streaming Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom 2026 is pretty minimal. One of the commentators out of nowhere, a guy I haven't seen on any broadcast in a long time, never a Stardom broadcast before, Razor Ramon Hard Gay was one of the commentators. Isn't that cool?
I will 100% be watching this. I went on a big Hard Gay kick just like a week ago and was watching some of his stuff. Yeah, he's fucking fantastic.
It's so crazy that he's still there, still out there doing his thing, I guess. And Razor is long gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
That guy's so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He's just like the absolute best fucking character of all time.
If you want to enjoy him giving commentary in Japanese language that you and I won't understand, he did do that this past week for Stardom.
Okay, I'm in. Now I will watch it.
And shout out to Rina Yamashita. Only a week after I saw her in Vegas in the Death Vegas Invitational, where she's just taking big bites out of glass light bulbs and breaking fluorescent tubes over Crazy Monkey's face. She's in this tag match on that show, the Stardom show, where she tears a highball whiskey can in half and then starts shredding up Hanako's face with it, and turned into one of the bloodiest Joshi matches I think I've ever seen. So shout out to her, having a big month. And with that sound of applause, I think there's probably no better time but now than to transition into our review of Yumeji. So we're going to do that. Stick around. We'll be right back.
誰を待っていたのかな
Very nice.
私は何を待っていたのかな
社会の敵といつか新聞に出ておりましたわ。竹久夢二。
ご存知で。女たらし、変態、色魔でしょ？
先生、名を惜しんでください。なぜそう聞き分けがないんです。
絶望。着物を脱ぎなさい！今のあなたには知らない！これじゃ書けない！出た！出た！出た！俺は竹下イメージだ！やりたいことをやって、詩を絵に歌い上げるのが俺のやり方だ！
夫のある身でございますよ。よろしいのですね。
君は誰を待ってるんだね。
おめえは誰待っとんがや。
あんたと同じもの。
あんたが抱こうとしてたな。夢地か。なんとか言え。
夢二だ。魚州に追いつけ追い越せの夢二だ。
これが私の絵か。
さよ。
その歯の絵はクソくらいだ。やめろ！
魚州君、君はいつもそんな冷たい顔して絵を描くのかね。
もみじは赤く生え、あなたの目は青白く光っています。それだけで行き詰まる思いです。あなたがいれば絵は余計です。
ありがとうございます。竹下さん、逃げないで。
逃げない。しかし今のあなたの心もわからない。私にはあなたが描けそうもない。
夢二さん。
に
誰を待っていたのかな。私は何を待っていたのかな。
All right, welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie on the show tonight is Yumeji from 1991. This was directed by Seijun Suzuki, kind of a legendary Japanese film director. You've never seen any Seijun Suzuki's, is that right, Bowman?
Never once in my life.
Okay, I feel like this is maybe an unconventional entry point into the guy's career.
Yeah, it is the third part of a trilogy I've read.
Third part of a trilogy, and you know me, I'm the kind of guy that always just likes to tackle movies and, in whatever order, and, I like to come at the end of things and just dip in with no, prior knowledge of the trilogy.
Yeah, you certainly don't need to see the entire, manga run before
No, well,
into the
when it comes
part.
to, the great Japanese directors, I feel like you can just dip in wherever. It doesn't matter.
I've often said the same thing.
But no, actually, Suzuki is a guy that is very well known, of course, and I think is mostly well known for his Yakuza movies that he did in the 1960s. Stuff like Branded to Kill, Tokyo Drifter. These are movies that got, pretty early Criterion releases. And when I was in my early 20s and getting into movies more seriously, older cinephiles would always say, oh, you got to check out Branded to Kill. You got to check out Tokyo Drifter. And I checked out those two Suzukis at that time, enjoyed them. I don't think I fully appreciated, how groundbreaking they were, but I liked them at the time. I was like, oh, there's cool stuff going on. He's, infusing some French new wave filmmaking techniques and stuff like this into the Yakuza pictures. But I hadn't thought about him in a long time, until a few years ago, I started getting more into Japanese movies again. And, I revisited those Yakuza movies, enjoyed them, and started watching his later in life Taisho trilogy. Because famously, what happened in the guy Suzuki, he made these movies for Nikatsu in the 1950s and 60s that were supposed to just be kind of standard pot boiler action movies to get butts in seats, for Nikatsu. But the guy was so artsy, and wanted to make these weirdo kind of new wave pictures that Nikatsu would fire him after Branded to Kill, and he would effectively be kind of blacklisted from Japanese, filmmaking circles until the early 1980s. So he spent 10 years or so, I guess until the late 1970s. And so he spent 10 years or so just kind of on the outs, and then came back. And shortly after coming back, he made this Taisho trilogy, which are 3 movies set in the Taisho era of Japan, which is pre-World War I or pre-World War II, post-World War I. So it's they're in the 1920s and 30s. And the 3 movies are set in that time period, but they're not really otherwise linked. They don't share any characters or any plot elements, really. So, I mean, honestly, this is a fine place to start, I guess. And actually, the IMDb summary for the movie is maybe a good place to start discussing what happens in the movie. Although I will say my standard disclaimer, this movie is probably better if we don't spoil it for you. So I would say if you got any kind of interest, go rent this thing. I think it's only $3 on YouTube. Is that how you saw this? How did you get your hands on Yumeji?
Yeah, I rented it from YouTube.
Yeah, and that's, $3 is a fair price, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's, $1 an hour. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you got plenty of movie for your money.
Yeah.
So the summary here on IMDb says painter and poet Yumeji Takahisa, who was a real life painter and poet from the years 1884 to 1934, gets involved with a beautiful widow, becoming a rival of her dead husband's ghost and the jealous lover who murdered him. And, besides being based on the guy's real life, it's also based on his works. So you see many of his paintings through the runtime of the movie, and presumably elements of the stories that he wrote are also represented here. But I'm not familiar enough with Yumeji and his actual works to know if that's true, but I would presume. Anyhow, by the way, here's one thing I noticed on IMDb this week. Have you noticed that you now have to log in to IMDb to see the reviews that anybody has posted?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I did notice that. It's
pretty jacked up.
They're really ruining that website. It's like they've been ruining it for years and years and years. And I feel like the more popular Letterboxd gets, the less IMDb tries. Like, it feels like some sort of like insurance scam now. Like they're just like trying to ruin it to get like, for some reason. Like the producers. Like
yeah, like it's been taken over by private equity or something, and they're gonna just tank it.
Yeah.
But it's strange. Yeah, it's so weird. You used to be able to just see people's reviews. Now you click on a review, and it's like, if you want to see this review, you got to log in. This extra step helps us keep IMDb's reviews a safe space for human voices. All right, guys, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why that would help. Like, it doesn't help me.
Sad to report, I can't give you the opinions of anybody who posted on IMDb 20 years ago about this movie. It's virtually lost to time now. But what I can tell you is that, now having seen all three of these Taisho movies, this is not dissimilar to the other two. They're all three of them are like very adult historical dramas about artists encountering death in surreal ways, which honestly tend to be my favorite kinds of Japanese movies lately. These sort of meditative, dreamlike dramas that are very maze-like and confusing. I will say, though, that I tend to usually get to the end of them with a little bit more of an understanding of the events of the movie than I did with this movie, which is kind of baffling at times. And I love Seijun Suzuki. I do really love those Yakuza pictures, and I love his kind of, I don't know, like his attitude of like, dude just doesn't give a fuck. He's going to make movies his own way, and they're very distinctive. And I think it's cool that, most of his earlier movies were set in contemporary times. Those Yakuza movies are not just set in the 60s, but they're like very much like about the 60s and about modern sentiments and about modern filmmaking techniques. But then later in life, he goes back into the past. Guy was born in this era, the Taisho era, and he's reaching back into history and really making films that are completely different than, the ones that he started out with. So I think that's cool. And I think the guy had such an incredible visual sense that it really works for a movie like this, where you get all these incredible sets, these super cool old train stations and villages. You get to see people using these wild 1920s wooden telephone booths, and you see them drinking their shots of sake out of little wooden boxes, which is something that Japanese people used to do when they weren't drinking from plates. They would drink out of these little boxes. There's a cool old-timey handgun with a barrel that's like a foot long. Just all these cool little, time period documentation bits. And also some of the most beautiful shots of a forest I think you'll ever see in your life, with just incredible foliage. And it's just like a really visually rich movie, as you might expect for a movie about a painter. But the use of color in this is incredible. It's got a lot of casual nudity. It's got all of the good things. And also some visual humor. There's a bit in this where there's a yellow canoe going through a lake. And the way that Suzuki frames it, he frames it such that the canoe is at like the very top of the frame, and the rest of the frame is just all lake. And I can't explain why that's funny, but it is funny when you see it. And then immediately after that, there's a bit where the canoe stops on a dime, and it stops so quickly that like the tail of it jumps up, stands up straight as if it were like a Looney Tunes cartoon or something. And in a movie like this, where the characters are so quiet and reserved and austere, to have those kind of little visual gags, I think is really fun. The story itself feels kind of like a poem. It's got some evocative details like the blood from the slaughterhouse that runs down into the lake. I really like that detail. And I thought this lead actor was really good. He, I guess, was more well known as a singer. He's with a rock band called the Tigers, but this guy, Kenji Sawada, turned out to be a pretty good actor. It says here on Wikipedia, his nickname is Julie because of his self-professed adoration of Julie Andrews. So that's cool. Mm-hmm. But he's an interesting character. I feel like you don't kind of know what to think about him at first. He's sort of a playboy, kind of a vagabond. But I feel like through the runtime of the movie, you do kind of get drawn closer to him as it becomes clear that, there's some peril all around him, even if sometimes that peril is a little bit unspecified. But yeah, I did have fun watching this with my wife, even if I, was somewhat confused through the runtime. It was still a nice reminder of a time when Japan was willing to spend a bunch of money on art films. And this is a nice looking movie that they clearly spent a good amount of money on. And, back before we were cursed with volume filmmaking, people would actually, trek out to mountainsides and shoot these gorgeous shots of a man standing in front of a waterfall for 3 seconds. It probably took him days to set up that one shot, but it was worth it, I don't really know very much about Yumeji, the artist. I guess I'm more interested now to check out some of his stuff, especially because this movie revealed to me he's kind of like the OG hentai artist. He's making all these porno pictures. And that was cool. I also read on Wikipedia an interesting tidbit that his depictions of women with large eyes is basically the reason that manga and anime would adopt that later on, putting the big eyes on women. So yeah, anyways, I thought this was cool. If a bit cryptic, certainly some things about it that I didn't understand. I don't know why there was that little Saw guy in this. The guy in this that looks like the guy from Saw, the little doll man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that was, but it was in this a few times. And yeah, I thought this was probably not my favorite of Suzuki's Taisho trilogy, but still a movie that I really enjoyed watching. When I was watching it, though, I was thinking, Bowman's probably going to hate this shit.
Yeah. I don't know anything about any of these fellows. Yumeji, the director, anything like that. And this movie, I think, really assumes that you already know who this guy is. And maybe, to be fair, if you're into artsy Japanese movies, maybe you do know who this artist is.
Or if you're a Japanese person living in Japan in 1991, you probably knew.
Yeah. Because, they really just drop you in. It really feels like, the movie starts like they lost the first 20 minutes of footage that explains everything.
Yeah, well, they don't even explain
why are they fighting Dracula, for God's sakes.
Exactly. So yeah, they really just kind of drop you in and go. There's not a lot of exposition or context. And so it's real easy to not know what's going on. That and also the movie is just very Twin Peaksy. So it's easy to not know what's going on.
Yeah, and hampered by the fact that these motherfuckers over at Wikipedia, sure, they do a great job at providing the movies that are coming out in the May of 2026, but do they provide any plot details about this movie? No, they provide nothing. It just says who directed it. So you can't even flip over to the Wikipedia during the runtime to refresh yourself on who is this character? Where did they come from?
That would have been really helpful because, I had to watch this over the course of like 3 nights.
Oh, no.
Because it's very long and boring. So, I kept giving up on it. And a Wikipedia page that I could, read a paragraph at a time to kind of keep up with what was happening would have been fantastic. Because like in addition to all the other troubles, like the surrealism and like kind of like the choppy narrative to begin with, and then just not knowing anybody in here, and the being bored. It was a difficult one. It was a difficult watch.
Man, are you now concerned with how you're going to hold up when we watch Lake of Illusions with Kevin Moss in a couple of weeks? A movie that I think is at least a full 30 minutes longer than this. And
is it the
more
same
cryptic.
director?
No, but it's more cryptic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's a very long movie to do on a Kevin Moss week.
To be fair, though, you once had these kinds of opinions when it came to the work of David Lynch.
I mean, I still do. That son of a bitch's shit's too long, too.
I just like to relax during entertainment.
Yeah, I'm still not watching Inland Empire. Too long.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
That's why I like Twin Peaks. 45 minutes, in and out. Let's do it.
Not to mention that monkey movie.
Man, that monkey movie was the best.
Greatest 3 minutes of your life.
Yeah. And the fucking cowboy and the Frenchman. That's perfect David Lynch length.
Well, I think then you had the right idea of breaking this into 1 hour long chunks then to try and make it more manageable, but
yeah, I even watched the Twin Peaks theme every time I started it back up to try to get it, try to get it into that flow I like. But
and then you watched Into the Night by John Landis because, of the Twin Peaks theme song connection.
Oh, yeah. And then I watched that Vic Morrow murder video a couple of times.
Well, just for fun, though.
Yeah, that was just kind of like to wake up a little bit after this slow movie.
I just like to relax during entertainment.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this movie really hits a lot of the same points as like this guy's a pervert, but also he really puts a lot of energy and passion into his art. But also he puts a lot of energy and passion into being a pervert, which makes him a better artist, which gets him more chicks that he can be a pervert with, which inspires more art. I don't know. I feel like the movie kind of goes around with that a lot. It's a little redundant. But maybe if I knew more about this guy, I'd be riveted, I can watch a fucking however long The People versus Larry Flint is over and over. And, that's just a guy who made different kinds of porno. So maybe if I liked this guy's art more, I'd be fine with it. Or if this guy was Akira Toriyama. That's one thing that this guy needed. He could have drawn more muscles.
Yeah. Yeah, hardly anybody's hair turns blonde in this, There is actually that one guy that is blonde, but he's blonde from, the get-go.
Yeah. I thought that was a reference to Goku. I thought that guy was just Super Saiyan in this movie.
No, he's just regular Saiyan.
Okay. Yeah, that guy's blonde hair is weird. He kind of looks like Ric Flair. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know that I have a whole lot to say about this movie because it was a real hard one to sit through. A real snoozer.
It's like you didn't even see that yellow canoe go across the top of the frame. If you had, you would be as riveted as I am.
I mean, I did like the foliage. I mean, it looks nice. There's
a lot of that this is a pretty looking movie.
Yeah, it's very pretty. The costumes and stuff are cool. I feel like you don't get a lot of this era of Japan on film, or at least the movies I watch. I don't know, or kind of like Japan and I feel like the perception of Japan in film is either samurais or it's little kids in mech suits. There's not a lot of this era
It's a weird kind of era in Japan where like American culture has come in and they're not yet opposed to it and they're not yet at war with America, but it's not been fully processed. And so it's this kind of weird, halfway point between like classical Japanese culture and modern or, Showa era Japan.
Yeah. Which is like, I think is like an interesting time period for them. But you don't see a lot of it. And I mean, I was going to say rightfully so, but I mean, not necessarily. That's like a poor word choice. Like not rightfully so, but like, like a Japanese culture is like, is bookended by like two very interesting periods being like, like samurai times and stuff and then modern times. So like, I mean, I guess this time does get overlooked, but like, it's a cool transitionary sort of a period for Japan. It's kind of cool to see people, I mean, I don't know what the correct terms are, but like ladies who look like geishas driving around in, Ford Model Ts. It's just like, feels like it shouldn't go together. Like it feels like it should be anachronistic, but isn't, like, and at this time, like, I mean, I feel like samurai culture wasn't even like fully gone yet, although that's not really like depicted in this movie or anything, but like, it's just like there, like I heard something the other day, like, it was like some funny Instagram reel that was like, but like it's like a true thing that like Abraham Lincoln could have gotten a fax message from a samurai or something. Like all of those things existed at the same time, even though you would not think that.
Well, you're saying that only because of how much technology they have over in there in Japan. They're just lousy with fax machines, is what you're saying?
Well, no, just like, I mean, like just like the idea that fax machines, Abraham Lincoln, and samurais all existed at the same time. Like,
you're telling me that Japanese people can't get through a single day without sending a fax, Bowman? Well, this is a little bit of a weird stereotype that you've got about the Japanese people.
Well, no, just you wouldn't expect all of those things to be existing at the same time period, and yet they did. And I feel like that's how I felt watching some of this movie. It was like the fashions and the cars you wouldn't necessarily think, or like the little houses with like the sliding doors, like the little like, that you would normally see in like a Kurosawa movie. And yet people are driving their cars up to those houses. Like, I don't know, just like little fun anachronisms in this movie that I think are cool. But like, that and the prettiness are really all that it had going for it. I didn't really care about this guy or anything like that. And I especially didn't care about him for 2.5 hours. So I don't know. This one wasn't for me.
Well, I hope it doesn't discourage you from checking out more Seijun Suzuki, a filmmaker I really love. And, this probably was not the best entry point, but I maintain it was not it's not a bad entry point for, chronological reasons. It's not that we spoiled it. You can still enjoy the previous two Taisho movies. You'll have lost nothing. They don't connect at all to this. People just like to group them because they all take place in the same time period.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
So hopefully you're still open to more of Seijun's work, but you didn't like Yumeji.
No, didn't like Yumeji.
Oh, well.
He should have drawn more kappas. I would have liked that.
Yeah. I mean, he drew a lot of vaginas.
Yeah.
He's always trying to get into ladies' pants just to draw their vagina. Which, by the way, you think that line works? You think if I go to a bar and say, hey, mind if I draw your vagina? Am I getting any action?
Maybe in Japan. In the 20s.
And again, in Japan, that's, kind of common.
Yeah,
I guess it probably is, Kevin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, would you like to know about what we might watch next time?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be another entry in Seijun Suzuki's Taisho trilogy.
It is. I'm actually, I got 2 movies here. I'm going to let you pick.
Okay.
One of these
I presume that they both respect the rules of of King Oscar's edict.
Yeah. Both of these movies have won Oscar.
Okay, great.
No, yeah, the producers I picked last time, which came out in like what 60 or something like this. Both of these are way past that. Into the modern day. The two very different movies. You've probably seen both of these, maybe. At least one you've seen. The first one is a movie called Lucky from 2017, starring Harry Dean Stanton
from the Avengers. I have seen this movie. Saw it in theaters.
Okay.
Co-stars David Lynch.
David Lynch is in this movie, and
he's
course,
in it for 2 minutes.
Oh, my second build.
Well, he's probably, the second most famous person in it.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know much about this movie, but I'm growing fond of Harry Dean Stanton ever since he was in the Avengers. This follows the journey of a 90-year-old atheist and the quirky characters that inhabit his off-the-map desert town. The second movie is Undefeatable from 1993, directed by Godfrey Ho, starring Cynthia Rothrock. This film follows Christy Jones, who along with her gang take part in a mafia-run street fights to earn money for her sister's college education. That sounds pretty good. This is a very infamous movie for having very over-the-top fights. So the question you must ask yourself, Sean, do you want to watch something introspective or do you want to watch kick-ass hot women fight?
Yeah, let's go with the Cynthia Rothrock movie. I don't think I've seen that one. And I would like to.
Okay. Perfect. I've never seen this. I've seen a couple of fights from it because, as I said, they're pretty infamous. I think a couple of them go viral from time to time, and you'll see them on on the reels and on YouTubes and things like that. But okay, Undefeatable 1993. This is everywhere. It's on Tubi. It's on Prime Video right now for free. You can also rent it for 99 cents. It's on Hoopla.
Don't be tricked, though. When they say it's on Prime Video for free, what they mean is it's on Prime Video if you're willing to sit through a shit ton of ads, more ads than any other platform, seemingly, even though you pay $10 a month or whatever for the service. Yeah.
So, yeah, you might want to just pay, even if you have the service, maybe pay the 99 cents to rent it.
Yeah, I'm sure that I will. Because I'm pretty much done with ads and movies. I can't do a mid-movie ad. I could do a pre-roll, maybe. I can't do a mid-movie ad ever again.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Tubi used to be, I've been bitching about this a lot lately, but Tubi used to be really good, where they'd show you one or two ads at the very beginning, and then they'd hit you maybe at the 50-minute mark with a couple more. And they used to do the countdown in the corner. It would be you've got 10 seconds to the next ad, 9 seconds. So you could kind of ease into it. I don't think they do that anymore. And they hit you with 5 fucking blocks of 5 commercials throughout the fucking runtime. It's getting a little much, but yeah. So I'm with you. Steal these movies, everybody.
Oh yeah, you do that, or buy them on Blu-ray or whatever. It's nice to support the distributors of these films.
Yeah, I assume this probably this is a pretty well-known movie. I think this is Godfrey Ho's second most popular movie on Letterboxd. I'm sure
that's saying something considering he made 7,000 movies.
Yeah, 81 movies, of which I've seen one. What movie have I seen? Oh, Man Behind the Sun 2. This fucking guy's a ghoul.
Boy, I forgot that was him.
All right, well, yeah. So, all right, that's what we'll be doing.
Excellent. Okay, Cynthia Rothrock and Godfrey Ho, a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Look forward to it. That'll be next week on the show at some point, coming up at some point soonish. We got Kevin Moss. Oh, maybe I should let me pull up the schedule so I tell the kids what we're watching. We'll be watching Hot Times, a.k.a. A Hard Day for Archie from 1974. Also, we'll be watching Josie and the Pussycats from 2001. And, of course, Lake of Illusions from 1982. A movie that is already bringing a lot of dread into Bowman's mind.
A little bit, yeah.
But that'll be in a couple weeks. Before that, like we said, Undefeatable. In between now and then, you can do all of the things that we tell you to do at the end of every show. Go to junkfooddinner.com. It's where you get all the back episodes. Go to archive.org and search for Junk Food Dinner. You can do it there as well. Go to facebook.com/junkfooddinner if you're still partying with Mark Zuckerberg, but hardly anybody is anymore. So maybe just go to our Discord. Look us up on Discord. That's where we hang out. That's where we party. You can also send us an email to jfdpodcast@gmail.com or send us a voicemail at 347-746-5865, aka 347-746-JUNK. That's what those numbers spell out. Do all those things. Check out our YouTube channel. That's where you can see the new Michael Jackson's Thriller video that I made. And once you do all of those things, then you will be permitted to come back next week and listen to the next installment of your favorite podcast and mine, Junk Food Supper. So we'll see you then. Until then, keep on washing them dishes.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.